On today's Freelance Marketing Ninja Show, we're going to be talking about value and how you can provide that value to people who follow you, most notably the people who subscribe to your email list. Let's go ahead and get started right now. Welcome to the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show. I'm your host, Eric Stephenson, and I'm coming at you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. Even if you're not watching live and you're watching a replay, that's cool too. Just drop in the chat, drop a comment about where you're watching from. If you're watching this, even if you're the only person to comment, that's still cool, right? Anyways, I'm so happy to be here, happy to be doing episode number 31. And in today's show, I would like to talk about a subject that's very important to me. And that's about how you can provide value to people who follow you or people who are on your email list specifically. Because let's face it, if all you ever do is make offers, if all you're doing is pitching something, always just trying to sell something, your audience is going to get fatigued, right? But if you're giving them value, you're giving them useful info, you're helping them get a step further from where they are today. Not only do you build trust, but you turn your email list into an um, asset that actually produces revenue for you over a long period of time, and you don't burn out your subscribers in 90 days, right? That's the goal, is that a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, somebody isn't ready to buy today, but they continue to follow you over time. Maybe they buy later and you don't spend any more money to continue to email those people. You just build a big email list. So I have a couple of ideas about value and just about even how you structure value in your email marketing practice. So what I like to do is I alternate weeks, to my email list. I alternate weeks between value emails and promotional emails. So for 1 week straight, all of the emails, they will still have a call to action, but there's nothing for sale for that week, right? I just want to provide value, build a relationship, build trust with people, and actually help them out, right? And then the week after that is when I have a promotional week. And during that promotional week, that's when I'm trying to sell or promote my affiliate offer. And I think in a future episode, we can talk about some best practices for that as well. So, what can you do to actually provide value? Well, there's a lot, and you don't necessarily have to create your own content to do that. You could certainly just go out and find articles that you think are helpful. That you think for your audience, if you understand your audience, something that would help them get a step further from where they are today. But I do like the idea of creating your own content, of creating videos in particular, so that when your audience clicks on the call to action in your emails, they're seeing you, they're seeing your face, they're hearing your voice, they're building a relationship with you. So what I like to do is sometimes I will actually just promote like some of the videos I've been doing for Instagram, like the 1 minute Instagram reels I've been doing. That'll be the call to action inside of my emails. And so what I'd like to do is actually just write an email live here in front of you, uh, or attempt to write one live. Sometimes it doesn't work so well when we do this live, but so I'm going to show you the video that we'll be writing this email about. to potentially my list. Here's today's quick mindset tip. This is something I got out of this book, The Breakthrough Experience by Dr. John DeMartini. And if you're whoa, 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 that looked terrible. That, anyways, I saw that it stretched it on the screen. I don't want to show that. I should have tested that out before I showed you all. Anyway, so this is it's a 1 minute video. It's basically what I've done is I've got a concept from a book I've been reading. This is a particular mindset concept. Really, it's about balance. The universe. The concept is the universe gives you equal amount support and challenge at the same time, and that's all throughout the writings of Dr. John DeMartini. You'll see that. So I have this 1 minute video. That's going to be the call to action in this video, and let's write an email live to promote that, just so you can see what that might look like. So I will go ahead and share my screen. And as you might know, the very first thing that I do when I write emails is I write the subject line of the email. This is possibly the most important part of your email, because what you write in your subject line often determines whether or not people actually open your email. So, and if they don't open it, then they can't read it. And if they can't read it, then they can't get the value that you're trying to provide through your email. So maybe I like to test my subject lines in this tool called the Headline Analyzer. It comes from a place called the Advanced Marketing Institute. And you can test your subject lines in here to see what their emotional marketing value is based on the words you're using. So maybe I would ask, does the universe have your back? Which is, appropriate for this particular video. We'll submit that for analysis. And oh, you know what? That is not such a great subject line, apparently. According to this tool, it's not. So in this case, I have to come up with maybe a better subject line, because my goal, what I'm shooting for, is at least a 30% or higher from this tool. The reason why is that the English language contains approximately 20% emotional marketing value words as it is, and most professional copywriters' headlines usually land in the 30 to 40% range. So let me think, how could I rewrite this? How could I rewrite this to maybe be a little more impactful? Maybe let's make this about the reader. Do you believe the universe has your back? That's a little bit different angle if you think about it, right? 50%. So it's not the concept that the universe has your back. It was the really the beginning words of how I framed the question made a huge difference, right? In how powerful this headline is according to this tool. So I really like that. You believe the universe has your back. So once I have my subject line, I usually will write my emails directly in this tool called the Hemingway Editor. And let me just check something really quick. Do I have my little logo on? No, I don't. And that covers up what I want to show. That covers up what I want to show. So let's go into the Hemingway Editor. And as you can see here, it gives me a readability grade to my email. It's really important when you write emails that they are super simple. The language is super simple and easy to read. And what I shoot for is a third grade or a fourth grade readability level. So trying to not get complicated sentences, sentence structures, big complicated words, make it difficult to read. So the first thing that I do is I will do, check for that. Do you believe the universe has your back? So the beginning of the email, what I want to do is I want to continue to get the reader's attention, because this is probably the second most important part of the email. Is really the very first thing you say. You're trying to grab their attention and draw them into the rest of the email. Couple of tips to do that is make sure you're talking about your reader and not yourself. That's huge because frankly, they probably care a lot more about themselves than they care about you. So keep that in mind and write it about your reader. Questions might work well, or just trying to. You also want to try to tie back to the subject line that you're using here too. So um, if you have wondered, we'll just, maybe I'm not going to pay as much attention to the readability while we write this, because we can come back and fix that a little bit later. But if you have wondered, let me move this over here. Maybe let's change this out. Maybe if you've ever felt like life circumstances too much to bear, or if no major challenges, really trying to just kind of tap into people's emotions here, right? Perhaps you've wondered if the universe has your back. Right. So very, very much have tied my hook, or this is actually called the lead in your email. This is called the lead, and this is the really kind of what I'm doing to draw my reader in. Um, well, so what do we got to transition here to the next part of the email. So perhaps you've wondered if the universe has your back. Well, I'm tell you it does. Probably not in the way that you think. And trying to engage some more curiosity to draw them even further down into my thought process. And in this kind of email too, I really this is a teaser email for a really short video. So I think for something like this, I could probably keep this fairly short. So what I could do here is I could actually just introduce what I want my reader to do and prove it to you. Video to tell you why. So you probably could end an email like this right there. Easily enough, you could, or you could, just depending on your mood, depending on if you feel like um, maybe you need to be a little bit more persuasive, you could continue on to to just get a little bit deeper in what they could expect to read, to get out of that video when they watch it. So let's write to see what that might look like. And when you watch it, you'll discover universal law. And this is why it's hard to do like live to write these emails live is sometimes I got to sit here and think about what I really want to say. But that's a good lead in. And when you watch it, you'll discover. Could even do the bullet points here. The universal law that yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to go that direction. You'll discover how the universe. Oh, that's also not good because I'm already kind of. You know what? I really think for this email, to be quite honest, a simple email for a simple video like this, I don't think it needs anything more. I probably could come back to this a little bit later. With an email like this, you could certainly send this out as a newsletter to your list or a one-time email. And what you want to do is just get the data and the feedback. Like, do people actually, did people actually click? Did people actually click on that based on the way that email was written? And did they open it with that subject line? And what I like to do is actually every once in a while I will come back to a series of emails I've written. I will look at the stats I have, and that tells me if I need to adjust those emails. So I think to just originally test this, this kind of a short email is really all this needs. If you disagree, write in the comments. Tell me why. You just use a reader like what your reaction to something like that is. But that that's basically it. Because my goal is just really to get them to really to get the reader to click on that video and watch it, hear my voice, see my face, and hopefully maybe learn something that actually helps propel them a little bit forward, right? So that's my concept of how you provide value to your list. Which just leaves us with one final segment for today. You might have heard of this. This is called the beginner tip of the day. This is the beginner tip of the day. This is for you if you're just getting started. You feel like you're getting sprayed in the face from the fire hose. You don't want to make some of the real big mistakes, and maybe you're feeling just a little bit gun shy, right? To really move forward and get started. Um, and this is just I feel like it's really important to say this. Um, it's really it's really difficult sometimes when you're brand new and you're emailing your list, and you've come through an experience where you've bought a program that you're promoting because the person promoting it has massive results, right? I did the same thing. That's was part of what convinced me, right, to move forward. Well, when you're brand new and you don't have those results, sometimes that makes people a little gun shy. Well, I don't, they think, well, I haven't made $1 million yet. Why would people trust me? This is a mindset issue, by the way. This is a mindset issue. You can write a convincing email as long as you're one step ahead of your reader. Let me say that again. You can write a convincing email as long as you're one step ahead of your reader. But, and this is really the major tip, avoid the temptation to misrepresent your results. Avoid the temptation to misrepresent what your experience has been, because quite honestly, if you make an income claim, for example, on a make money offer, right, or if you make a weight loss claim on a like a fat loss program or weight loss program that you haven't achieved, um, people sometimes see through that, because a lot of times those claims that are false are usually larger than life and just can't be backed up. So don't misrepresent. Be honest. Um, and in the case of a make money online offer where you have chosen, to promote an offer that's coming from somebody who does have those results, then use their credibility and say, you know what, hey, I'm still on my journey, but I've accomplished this. I've built a system that runs on autopilot. It's it helps. It signs up people automatically without me having to talk to them, right, or knock on their door. It signs them up automatically and sells to them, and I don't even really have to do anything. I don't have to do the hard work. This automated system does the heavy lifting. That in itself is pretty compelling, right? And then the fact that you were able to set that up, especially to somebody who hasn't done that, if you just think to back to where you were when you didn't have that set up, how daunting of a task that was to you, because you didn't really know what was involved, right? So there are things that you can do without having to necessarily lie about it. If you do lie, people see through it, and you might get in trouble with the FTC. So let me just put it that way: that the stick is a lot bigger if you do misrepresent it. Anyways, that is today's show. I hope you got some value out of it. Drop some comments below. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you might like to see in a future show. If you've got questions, I will read those comments and reply to them. And really looking forward to seeing you in a future edition of the Freelance Marketing Ninja Show.